We have the last suspension bits that we're going to discuss. Lower control arm inner or inner lower control arm pair. It is just a little bit of a description. The GT cars come with a lower control arm that is two pieces. And the way that Porsche likes for you to adjust camber in the car is to add shims, look like this, to uh, the split in between the inner part of the arm and the outer part of the arm. So there's bolts that connect those two, and the shims ride on the bolts that make the whole control arm longer. By making the control arm longer, you push the bottom of the upright out farther, therefore adding negative camber to the car. So, what are the main advantages of our lower control arm, and why do you need it? Well, the reason that you need it is Porsche only leaves a certain amount of bolt, if you will, or threads on the lower control arm for you to add shims. What we do is we have longer inner control arms, some of them up to 20 millimeters longer, and we have longer studs so that you can introduce more shims so that you can achieve your camber targets. What specific alignment benefits do these arms offer for track use? Well, they're predominantly used to increase negative camber and increase track width. Track width is a benefit by being able to extend the tires farther apart from one another. You get more front grip because you've got the track width of the car is wider. So you're spreading the G loads over a longer moment arm, if you will. So, what kind of handling improvements can be expected with this upgrade? More negative camber, wider track width means the front of the car is going to bite and you will have less understeer. Are there any compatibility issues with other suspension components when using these control arms? Kinda. So when you move the uprights farther apart, you're going to need extended front tie rods. And we've already discussed extended front tie rods. And that's why we generally sell these parts as a package so that you have everything together. You can buy them individually, but we generally like to sell them as a package. Are there any... How does this modification affect tire wear and longevity? The idea of having a sports car is that you drive it in a spirited manner. And when you are pulling large G loads through the car, you're going to lean the tire over. If you do not add negative camber or sufficient negative camber, you will end up leaning the tire onto its outer shoulder and wear the tire on its outer shoulder. Nobody likes shoulder wear, especially at Cars and Coffee. I'm kidding. The You'll prematurely wear your track tires and end up cording them on the outside edge if you do not add sufficient negative camber. And you will notice this from the screeching noises from the front of the car and severe understeer that the car is experiencing. So that's how this modification will affect tire wear and longevity. What testing has been done to validate the performance in extreme conditions? Well, we test every part that we make on our own cars at the track with a pro driving it, with an amateur driving it. We do all of our own stunts at Dundon Motorsports. It's kind of funny. Even ones we probably shouldn't have. But that is what how we test, how we validate the performance. You can see it on our YouTube videos. Almost every part we make, we take to the track and we demonstrate its performance. We make these parts for both the 991, GT3, 981, GT4, 718, GT4, and RS, and the 992 GT3. I think we're one of the few that actually do make them for the 992 GT3 as far as an extended inner lower control arm. So, any questions on the lower control arm pairs? Please reach out. Let us know what your questions are. We're happy to help.